everybody, I have a fun card for you today. It is from the Leaves of Holly, and this is such a nice set. This is the stamp set and all of the dies, and I have a quick tip for you first before I get started and show you everything else that we use. I want to do it before I forget. So let's do the tips first, and then we'll move on to the other, putting the card together. So I'm going to use my little baby stamp and emboss machine, and sometimes when you cut with these dies that are really intricate, I use a piece of wax paper first so it releases really well. But sometimes when you cut this way, you know, the way that you are used to cutting, it doesn't cut as well with the intricate dies. So I ran it through and back again, and it doesn't quite cut it out all the way. I mean, it cuts good, but not so that it just pops right out. So I'm going to show you what I do when that happens. If you have intricate dies and you struggle with getting them to cut out with just 2 passes, what you want to do is I take my clean plate that I usually reserve until this one gets so that I can't use it. So what I do is I take my die and then I just flip it up. So instead of cutting down, I flip up and just put the paper right over top of it, and then just put your next plate on top of that. And then for some reason it gives it more pressure this way, so it cuts cleaner. So, and then you just pop it out and just hopefully it will release easier. So the wax paper, what it does, it acts like oil. So it just oils up your dies and makes them release better. So you still have to poke it a little bit, but at least it gets a nice clean cut this way. So let me show you with the other one. Okay, so all those popped out. So this one, sometimes it doesn't cut all the way. Like this one, it kind of sticks and peels on the back, so it doesn't cut out as nice. So if you have intricate dies and you're having a problem getting them to cut, flip them up the other way and run them through. Just remember to reverse your plates so that you can keep your clean one clean a while longer. So let's just put these to the side, and then I'll clean up my mess after I get my card done. So I also want to show you some ribbon that I did for this card. If you noticed on the card, it has this ribbon and it only has a little stripe of color in it. So what I did is I took the frayed ribbon, and I love this stuff. It is so soft. If you don't have this, you really need some. So what I did is I cut it in half, and I'm not really good at cutting with scissors. So what I do is I take my trimmer and you cut a piece of your ribbon, about 12 inches, so that it'll fit in your trimmer. And what you do, this is a 1-inch piece, so you just want to line it up at 1/2 and 1/2. Just make sure that it's straight, and then just cut your ribbon. I didn't get it straight, but look how nice and straight that is. you know, if you tried to do it by hand, and I love the frayed look. So then what you want to do, after you cut it, I needed to scoot that over a little bit, but you know, you can have a big piece and you can have a little piece. And then I'm just gonna get my piece of paper that I keep so that I don't mess up this piece. So this is the mint, or no, it's the soft succulent, and it's the light one. So what you want to do is you want to take your flat end, the bigger end, and just run it down your ribbon. So then you can have a different look to your ribbon. And you can do this with any color of your blends. Isn't that pretty? And then it just soaks in. When it's darker, you could use the darker one, but I like it in the light. I just think it's so pretty. So then you just tie your bow. Might need a little more on that end. Pretty. And then you can just fray your ribbon if you like it frayed. If you don't, you know, this is not going to be for you if you don't like the frayed look, but I love it. So you can just trim off the end a little bit. It is kind of messy, but you know, if you know me, you know I like messy. So then you can just fray this one as much or as little as you like. Isn't that pretty? It just makes such a pretty bow. Like I said, you can use any color that you want. You could use, for this card, you could use the red, or the cherry cobbler would be really pretty. So I'm just going to put this under here, put my stuff away, and we will move on to the card. But that is just so pretty. So I used that ribbon. I used soft suede and crumb cake. Right here. And then I used, of course, the leaves of holly. I used the new paper, the boughs of holly. And this is just so pretty. Love this back side. That's really pretty. You could fussy cut those if you want, or if you have a scan and cut, you could cut those out. And I like this. Really pretty. I'm going to have some more cards with this, so you can see different ideas. But we'll start with this one first, and then just, I like this one a lot. Not so crazy about that one, but you know, that's just my opinion. And then I use the wonderful snowflakes, and I love these. These are iridescent on one side and then just flat on the other side, so that you could actually change the color if you wanted them light blue, or if you like a different color snowflake, you can color on this side, but this side is shiny and iridescent, so you can't color on that side. But let me show you how I made this card. So I cut a piece of the back side of one of the papers out of the boughs of holly, and I cut it down to 4 and 5.5. And I know I've said this before, if you want to stretch your designer series paper, just cut it down to 4, and that way you can get 3 pieces out of it. So it gives you more to work with. And then I just use these 2 pieces, and these are Old Olive, and then this is Pear Pizzazz. And all you want to do, you could cut this, and probably what I should have done is use the adhesive sheets, but this has enough that you can just use your glue on it, and just be careful, you don't want it to squish out. I try not to put it right up to the ends because I don't want it to make a mess. So then you just turn it over and just add it to your piece, just like that. And I thought I did these ahead of time, but I didn't, and that's okay. It doesn't take that long. Just, I wouldn't try to use your tape runner with this because it would really make a mess. Either use your adhesive sheets and cut it out, or just take some of your multi-purpose liquid glue and just be careful, you know, don't squeeze it out all over the place because you don't want it to come out through the leaves. You want it to look nice and neat. So there you go, those two are finished. And what I did for this piece, I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring this in again just so I can use it. What you want to do, I cut this out of the shimmery white cardstock just because I like shimmer. And then just take your blending brush and load it up with the crumb cake. And then just wherever you want it on here. And this way, you get the color of the crumb cake on this piece that you're going to use on your card, and it also gives you the outline for your card piece where I did colored on here. So it's a really cute way. Isn't it pretty? Really like it. So then you can just, if you want to, I think I'm going to bring this one up like this. And then just load up your brush and just keep coloring. Put this one right here. And this piece is 3 inches by 4.5. I'll probably do a PDF later, but in case you can't wait until I make one. I like it. So then if you want to add some more color to this, neat, I like it. So then the rest of it is just layering. This comes from the stamp set to Friends Near and Far. I thought that was really pretty. So what you want to do is you want to layer. Make sure that I have this up in frame so that you can see what I'm doing. So you just want to layer this piece. And I believe I told you this is 4 by 5.5. Then this piece is 3 by 4.5. It gives you a nice reveal of this piece. You could also just use plain cherry cobbler if you wanted to. And then you just want to start layering your pieces. So you can figure out with your snowflakes if you want them to be white or if you want them to be the iridescent sparkle. I really do like these. Okay, so what you want to do, I think this one I'm just going to use it as white. So I just put it right in the center, and then I just line it up at the bottom. This one I think I'm going to bring it down a little bit further this time because I think I want to put this up at the top this time. So I'm going to go ahead and put that where I want it so that I know where to put my holly leaf. Just make sure it's straight. Okay, this piece right here. So then these pieces, I actually pop them up. You don't have to if you don't want to. I like them popped up. So just put a couple of glue dots or dimensionals on here. And then just bring it up here. And then this, we'll have to put the dimensional off to the side. And then we can put some glue right there. So we're going to bring this one down a little bit. And then for my ribbon, isn't that so pretty? I love that. I actually use glue dots. Oops, I forgot my little piece here. So these are textural elements, and they're just so pretty. They're little balsa wood, and you could actually color these if you wanted to with your blends. I just left it so it would bring in some more of the crumb cake color to this card, but it would look really pretty if you colored these berries red or cherry cobbler. And then you just take your glue dots and just put it right in the center part of your ribbon bow. And then you can trim your ribbon if you need to. I just think it's so pretty. Whoops, I forgot my little berries. They go right under here. So we're going to give them a little bit of glue. And this is just from that paper. Had a little piece left over, so you just pop that right in here. Bring in some more of the red. And then you just put it on a card base and you are good to go. I think that is so pretty. Let me know what you think. And like I said, I'll try to do a PDF in a bit. And then I'll also have some more samples to share with you later. Take care. Bye-bye.